wondered what a property appraisal is, why you can't just use a calculator online, and also why a property agent can't actually give you an appraisal right there on the spot when you ask. Well, today we're here with Joanne Danckwardt from One Agency, JD Property Agents in Fairy Meadow. And Joanne, I want to know, what is a property appraisal first of all, and why is it important to get one through a property agent as opposed to just using the online calculator?
Okay, so a property appraisal is when an agent will go to your home, have a look through and give you an estimate of the value of the property. It's free of charge, so it doesn't cost you anything to have an agent go and have a look at the home. It's very different to a valuation. So a valuation is relied on by the banks. The valuers are paid to go and do an opinion. So there can be a really big difference between the cost associated with it, but the process is very similar because both the agent and the valuer will go and look at relevant sales, and they will base their assessment on what is sold in the area. You can do your own assessment, like going on and using one of the online tools. I don't know whether you've looked at that recently or for your own home, but you generally find there could be a $200,000, $300,000, sometimes $500,000 difference between the bottom end and the top end of what the estimate is. To me, that's pretty meaningless. And it's always based on things that have happened in the past, and it's really not always the most relevant or most
Up to date.
Up to date. The thing that happened yesterday or a few days ago. The agents have their fingers on the pulse. They know exactly what's happening. They also have a really good feel on the market and what buyers are saying and what they're feeling and what way the market's going, either up or down. And they will make assessments of that. A valuer doesn't have any experience with that because they're only looking at historical data. So it's very different, but it's same. It's the same but different. That's what they say, isn't it?
So what about getting an appraisal? I know often people ask you, can you just do the appraisal now while you're here?
Yes.
Why is that, from your perspective, not the best thing to do?
Look, it's really interesting because every home is different. It's not cookie cutter. I mean, it depends on the area. If you go into an area and it's exactly the same, this house is exactly the same, that house is exactly the same as that house, it's quite easy to then go in and say, well, your house is worth this because that one sold for that, and your house will be worth that because that one's exactly the same. This area is very diverse, so we have a lot of different types of properties in the area, and it also gets back to the experience. But sometimes, even with all my experience, because I've been in this industry like 27 years, I still like to reflect because I can get super excited about a property and then think, maybe I was a little bit over optimistic when I stepped back from it. I think it's really important that we have all the information available at the time too. So, you know, I will ask certain questions before I go. How many bedrooms, bathrooms, get car accommodation. Also want to know whether they've updated things. So I've got a very clear picture in my head, but if I go there and I see something that I wasn't expecting, that could actually increase the price or it might decrease the price. And I might actually want to go away and give it a little bit more thought. So it is, and if there is somebody that's knocking on your door, generally they're probably not as experienced as somebody like myself, because you don't normally see me out there knocking on a door, wanting to know whether you'd like to have a market appraisal. And those agents or assistant agents or associate agents, well, the title doesn't really matter, they often haven't got that experience to be able to just walk into the home and give you a price on the spot. They could, but it might not be accurate. And that's where they'll generally come back to the office, make the appointment, and then bring a more experienced agent with them. So that, you know, and it's always two heads can be better than one.
That's right, exactly. No, perfect, thank you. Well, if you've got any questions about property appraisals, or if you would actually like to get your property appraised by Joanne, please contact her here at the One Agency JD Property Agents in Fairy Meadow. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.